Have you ever felt overwhelmed by light, sounds, and textures that others don't even notice? Require more movement, textures, and intense flavors than most. Maybe you or someone you know might have sensory processing disorder. Like anything else, please talk to a doctor who are all possible causes of your issues. In this video, I'll break down exactly what sensory processing disorder is. The most common symptoms how to recognize in everyday life. Stick around to gain clarity and insight. Sensory processing disorder is a condition where the brain has difficulty receiving and responding to sensory information from the environment. No, you cannot cure it. All you need to manage the symptom and never fully goes away. Most people look for ways to manage their sensory issues by either finding workarounds or avoiding them altogether. What I mean by avoiding is, for example, jean jackets. It's a sensory issue for you. Just don't wear jean jackets at all, because you're not required to. For workarounds, what I mean by that is, for example, brushing teeth. Instead of using mint toothpaste if that bothers you, use a strawberry flavored toothpaste, for example. In America, sensory processing disorder is not its own diagnosis in the medical books, so it's really hard to find doctors that even tell you have sensory processing disorder since it's not its own diagnosis yet. Doctors and medical people find that most people who have it end up having a disorder like autism, ADHD, anxiety, Fragile X syndrome, for example. That's not all the disorders that can come with sensory processing disorder. It's just some of the most common ones. Some occupational therapists will tell people they have sensory processing disorder, be able to give them tests to determine they have sensory processing disorder, and give them therapies. But most of the time, they only work with kids, unless you find a lucky, few who happen to work with adults. And most of the time, insurance will not pay for any of the therapies that the occupational therapist gives you for sensory processing disorder, unless they put it under another disorder like anxiety or something, trying to basically trick the insurance company and being like, here's a diagnosis, please pay for this therapy. And I'm not sure it's like a full trickery, but yes, adults can in some cases get diagnosed by an occupational therapist, and in some cases they can get therapy, but generally it's going to be a no, because again, most therapists tend to only help kids. They don't take adults, and getting insurance to pay for this kind of treatment is very tricky. So most of the time, insurance will be like, no, we're not paying for any therapies related to sensory processing disorder, since it's not its own recognized disorder at this very moment. The 3 types of sensory processing issues you can have: sensory avoiding, sensory seeking, and mixed sensory issues, aka where you have avoiding and seeking. Sensory avoiding is when you can't handle sensory input that most people can. Like, for example, when a person keeps telling you that shirt that most people can wear and making it impossible for them to focus because it's so uncomfortable / painful to wear. Sensory seeking is when, for example, someone keeps asking for a lot of pressure to be put on them, like tight hugs, weight blankets, etc., and seem to never get enough of it. Mixed sensory issues is when, for example, they tell you they need the TV, fan, phone, and music on all at once, while also saying things like, this shirt's too itchy, it's too close to the neckline, they can't focus. Now, they don't have to experience sensory seeking and sensory avoiding all at the same time to carry mixed sensory issues. They just have to experience both issues throughout their life. Like, one day they might experience needing a bunch of noise and others calm down. But another day, they might struggle with putting on a shirt. For example, people who have mixed sensory issues tend to have more issues in one side than the other. For example, they might be 50%, they might be 55% of the time sensory seeking, while 45% of the time sensory avoiding. Or they might be 90% of the time sensory avoiding and 10% of the time sensory seeking. It's never just a clear-cut 50-50 type of situation. You always tend to be a little bit more in one category than the other category. If you're enjoying this video on what sensory processing disorder is, the signs, and what it can look like, then please like, subscribe, and comment down below so you can join the community and learn more about sensory processing disorder and feel less alone. Signs of sensory processing disorder is, but not limited to, being uncoordinated, bumping into things, having anxiety, being unable to tell where the limbs are in space, focusing issues, but it's not like they have trouble focusing all the time. It's mostly when like the sensory input is wrong, is when they have trouble focusing. Like as soon as you like solve the sensory issue, they'll have an easier time focusing. Gagging, screaming if their face is wet, having an unusually high or low pain threshold, putting inedible objects, including rocks, paint, wood, for example, in their mouths, thinking soft touches feel too hard, reacting poorly to sudden movements and touches, loud noises or bright lights. 6 thrills like jumping, heights, spinning, can spin without getting dizzy, don't recognize when their faces are dirty or their nose is running, have problems sleeping, uncomfortable with some movements such as swinging, sliding, or going down ramps or other inclines. A young child might have trouble learning to climb, go downstairs, or ride an escalator, disliking their hands dirty. A tendency to become easily overwhelmed in a crowded, noisy environment. Avoiding a social situation due to sensory overload. Trouble eating because the flavor is never intense enough or the texture is unpleasant. Temperature regulation issues. Sensory processing disorder is real, and no, it does not mean the person is picky, stubborn, or needs to get over themselves. They have real issues. What they feel is very valid. For example, how sensory processing disorder / sensory issues look like for me seeking out new flavors of food, getting on certain textures and tastes when it comes to food / drinks. Anything that touches my neck because it feels like I'm being choked even though I can breathe the whole entire time. So I'm not actually in any real danger, but yet my body's like, get it off of me, you know? More than one window open in a car puts too much wind in my face. It's like too much pressure, like the wind is too windy, so it makes it hard to breathe. I can't wear certain fabrics like wool or lace, for example, because it's very itchy and rough. I can't do certain smells like smoke, old book smell, wood, mint / peppermint, for example. I can watch 2 videos at once. I do fidget. I have a high pain tolerance. Don't realize I'm in really bad pain until I throw up or I end up crying about it. Dogs itching and scratching drives me up the wall. Brushing my hair can be painful. Can't do lotions that are grainy. Can't do gel textures because I gag. Can't swallow big pills because I have a hard time getting it down my throat because I can feel the pill going down my throat as I'm swallowing it. Also, I gag. I do pick my lips. I will repeat words. I make sounds as a stim. The elastic part of a shower cap makes them uncomfortable for me because it puts too much pressure on my head. I also experience focusing issues, anxiety, gagging, and sometimes throwing up because of sensory issues. There are lots of tools / equipment that help people with sensory processing disorder. Now, not all these tools will work for everyone because each person has their own sensory issues. So they'll have different things that they find helpful and different things they find don't help them at all. But some of the tools that some people like are weighted blankets, cooling vests, weighted stuffed animals, compression shirts, noise-canceling headphones, and swings, to name a few. Please like. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked it. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel below so you can feel less alone and learn more about sensory processing disorder.